Welcome to the deep dive. So we've gotten a lot of questions about a really common dilemma. You want that premium active noise canceling experience, the ANC, but you need to stick to a smart budget. Today we are diving deep into two absolute champions of the affordable audio world, the Soundcore Life Q20 and the Life Q30.
And these two, they've really changed the game. Both from the Soundcore Q series, they're kind of the proof that you don't need to empty your wallet for, really effective noise reduction and great sound.
Absolutely. So our mission for you today is to get past the spec sheet. We want to figure out which one of these, the reliable Q20 or the sort of feature-packed upgrade, the Q30 is the perfect fit for your actual day-to-day life.
Exactly. This isn't just about a list of features. It's about what those differences mean. We're going to break down their sound philosophies, the real-world impact of their ANC, and whether those extra smart features on the Q30, actually justify that little bit of extra cash.
Okay, let's get into it. And we should probably start with what's actually inside the headphones, it's surprisingly consistent between the two.
That's right. It's something that I think a lot of people overlook. They both share a really robust technical foundation. You're looking at large 40-millimeter dynamic drivers in both, and crucially, both support high-res audio.
And that high-res tag, that's a huge deal at this price point. For anyone listening who might not be super familiar, what does reaching up to 40 kilohertz, what does that actually mean when you put them on?
It really just means you're getting clarity and detail that standard Bluetooth audio often just misses. Think of it like this.
Yeah.
You're not just hearing the music, you're hearing the texture of the music.
The little details.
The tiny details, yeah. The shimmer of a cymbal or the breath of a singer right before a line, things that usually get compressed out. So for anyone who really cares about fidelity, either one of these is, frankly, a high achiever.
So they share the hardware, the drivers, but they completely diverge on how they tune that hardware. The Q20 has this very specific signature feature they call BASUP technology. Tell us why that matters.
BASUP is, it's essentially an active algorithm. The headphones are analyzing the low frequencies in real time, and if it detects a certain threshold, it can dynamically boost the bass output by up to 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really aimed at someone who wants that massive visceral impact. So if you're listening to EDM, hip-hop, anything where a really thumping low end is the priority, the Q20 just delivers that power boost instantly.
Okay, but then the Q30 seems to take a step back from that algorithmic approach. It focuses more on the materials themselves, right? Using these flexible silk diaphragms to get its sound.
Yeah.
So the Q20 is pure bass power. Why would someone go for the Q30's more natural tuning?
That is a fantastic question, and it really gets to the heart of audio preference. The Q30 is going for balance and accuracy first. The silk diaphragms, they allow for a faster response and cleaner reproduction across the entire frequency range.
Not just the bass.
Not just the bass. And look, the Q30 definitely produces a thumping bass, but it gets there without needing that, that algorithmic boost. So for listeners who enjoy, a bit of everything, maybe some classical, then some rock, the Q30 offers a more neutral, uncolored sound that's arguably more versatile, and it's easier to customize with an EQ later on.
So a tie-on sound makes sense then. It reflects two valid but just very distinct paths. The Q20 is for simplicity and just intense bass. The Q30 leans more towards natural fidelity and balance. Both great, just for different listeners.
Exactly. But now we get to the core reason these headphones even exist. Silence, active noise cancellation. And this is where the Q30 really starts to make a compelling case for itself.
Let's start with the Q20. It's no slouch. It uses hybrid ANC, right? Mics inside and outside the ear cup. It reduces ambient noise by a solid 90%. So what kind of environments does that really excel in?
The Q20 is a fantastic entry point for travel. It's really, really good at knocking out those constant droning sounds. The rumble of a train, the hum of an air conditioner, that constant engine noise on a plane. It gives you enough quiet to actually enjoy your music.
That's solid performance for a budget model. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Q30 takes that and pushes it just a little further, claiming to block up to 95% of low-frequency sound. And that 5% might not sound like much on paper, but in a really loud place, that can be the difference between distraction and total immersion.
And the reason the Q30 is superior isn't just raw power, it's about intelligence. The Q30 introduces customizable ANC. It has 3 distinct modes, which just makes it so much more adaptable. The Q20 is like a hammer, it hits noise hard. But the Q30, it's a versatile toolbox.
And that adaptability is a real game changer. You're not always on a plane.
Precisely. You get the transport mode that's tuned specifically for those relentless, deep rumbles like airplane engines. Then you step outside onto a busy street, you just switch to outdoor mode, it targets traffic, and importantly, it cuts down on wind distortion, which is a huge annoyance with most ANC headphones.
Yeah. And what about for people working in like an open office or from home?
That's where indoor mode comes in. It's tuned to handle those mid-range frequencies. So human voices, keyboard clicks, general office chatter, the ability to just instantly tailor your noise canceling to your exact situation, that's a fundamental upgrade that makes the Q30 the clear winner here. It's just smarter.
Okay, so since we've established the Q30's ANC is smarter, more intensive, that brings us straight to battery life. All that processing has to demand a lot of power.
Yes, and they are both absolute monsters here, but it's kind of like comparing a marathon to an ultramarathon. The Q20 is already excellent. You're getting an impressive 40 hours of playtime with wireless ANC on, turn ANC off, and that stretches to a remarkable 60 hours.
40 hours is already fantastic. I mean, that'll cover you for a week's commute, easy. But the Q30 just takes that and pushes it even further.
It does. The Q30 delivers 50 hours in noise canceling mode and a staggering 70 hours in standard mode. That extra 10 hours in ANC mode, that's a 25% increase. If you're a constant commuter, that's huge. You could go from charging every 4 weeks to charging every 5 weeks.
That's a big deal if you hate plugging things in. Just that mental convenience of forgetting about charging for over a month, that could be worth the extra cost on its own.
And they both share that lifesaver feature, quick charge. A fast 5-minute charge while you're grabbing coffee gives you 4 hours of listening time. Both of them absolutely nail that.
Okay, so moving on to the physical experience. The comfort, design, and all those little features. When you have 50 or 70 hours of battery, comfort is no longer a nice to have. It's an absolute necessity.
That is a critical point. The Q20 is comfortable, don't get me wrong. It uses standard memory foam, ear cups, rotating joints. It's solid, secure, generally fine.
But the Q30 is aiming for more of a premium feel. What's the practical difference in its design?
It comes down to the material on the outside of the cushion. The Q30 uses this ultra-soft protein leather with the memory foam. The key thing is that protein leather is just. It's softer, it's lighter, and it tends to breathe better. So you get less heat and pressure buildup around your ears, which is critical for those marathon sessions, or, if you wear glasses. The Q30 is all about reducing fatigue.
So we have a better battery, smarter ANC, wrapped in a more comfortable package.
Right.
But I think where the Q30 really pulls ahead for the modern user is in the smart features that just integrated into our digital lives.
Absolutely. The Q30 is built around this whole digital ecosystem, and the Q20 just isn't. And the most critical feature for productivity here is multi-point connection.
Okay, multipoint. This lets you connect to 2 devices at the same time. For anyone who works with a laptop and a phone, what's the actual value of that?
It's a total workflow game changer. Imagine you're listening to music on your work laptop and your phone rings. With multi-point, the headphones they automatically pause the music and switch to the phone so you can take the call, hang up, and it switches right back. The Q20 makes you manually disconnect and reconnect every single time. It just breaks your focus.
And the other big feature is the app integration, right? The Q30 works with the Soundcore app, which gives you a custom EQ.
That is massive, especially when you think about the Q30's more neutral tuning. If you find yourself missing the raw bass power of the Q20's bass up feature, you can just open the app and boost the low end exactly how you like it. It gives you precise control that the Q20 just can't offer. With the Q20, what you get out of the box is what you get.
Now, there is one quick but really crucial caveat on connectivity we need to cover. Both have a 3.5 millimeter AUX cable for wired listening, which is great.
But here's the trade-off. Because the Q30 relies so much on its digital brain for its advanced ANC and custom sound, if the battery dies, all the smart features, including ANC, go with it, even in wired mode.
That's a key distinction. The Q30 prioritizes digital quality over having an analog fallback for its best features.
Looking at the overall value, though, it's fair to say both of these are just leaders in their category. Both come well packaged with everything you need. USB-C cable, AUX cable, a little travel pouch. It's a great value no matter which you pick.
So it really just comes down to that price difference and aligning the features with your life. The Q20 is the budget champ, and the Q30 has a modest but, justifiable premium.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Well, the choice really hinges on how feature-intensive your daily life is. If your main priority is pure, powerful bass, if you prefer simplicity, you don't want an app, you don't need multipoint, and if 40 hours of battery with great ANC is more than enough for you, then choose the Q20. It's an amazing core product.
Right, but if you live that multi-device, multi-environment life, if you're flying a lot, commuting constantly, or working in an open office where background chatter is the main problem, the Q30 is absolutely worth the investment.
You choose the Q30 if you need that maximum noise cancellation with those critical customizable modes. If multi-point is essential for your productivity, and if you want that more premium, comfortable feel for listening all day long, it basically takes everything great about the Q20 and just elevates it.
So we've established that both of these models deliver just exceptional value. The Q20 is a fantastic starting point, and the Q30 is the smarter investment if your life demands that extra versatility.
Your choice really comes down to how many different audio environments you have to deal with every single day.
Which leads us to our final provocative thought for you to consider. How much does the variability of your daily listening environment, moving from an airplane's drone to a busy street to an open office, how much does that justify investing in customizable tech? Is versatility or is simplicity the higher value proposition for you? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.